Welcome. We thank you for listening with us today. We ask that you please stow away and secure all important items. There are no emergency exits. So just sit back, relax, fasten your earbuds, and enjoy.
Coming to you from sunny Orlando, Florida, this is Funny to Informing.
Welcome to Funny to Informing, episode 146, Pick Up Sticks. And I'm John. That's Chris Pizza Peisenberg Coleman.
It is me. Sorry if I was a little late on the intro there, John. I was over at the Decal Junkie buying some new merch. I've been collecting lately. If you can't tell from the video, we're live on YouTube.
We brought all of our stuff out to play today. I have the shirt on.
If I sound a little muffled, I'm wearing the buff because John's a disgusting motherfucker, and I'm not sure if he has COVID or not. Foreshadowing.
We're closer than 6 feet.
Is that better? Sorry.
Yeah, people who are watching on the YouTube, youtube.com, you can just search Funny to Informing Podcast or Funny to Informing, and now we're starting to post episodes there as well. This one might be a little bit shorter. We're going to try to ram jam through this sucker. No breaks. Live on video. There's a lot.
Here we go.
There's a lot. I mean, because we still have Tuttle's 10. We're still doing that.
Yep.
And then Digi-Hears. And
then stick around on video only. We're going to give you a treat at the end of the show.
Yeah. At the end, where usually the outro music would start. So on the podcast, the outro music's going to start. But then on the video version is where we're going to take a COVID test up the nose.
Yes, nothing. I've already had one. I am COVID-free since 2020. John is unsure, which is why I was wearing my buff from thedecaljunkie.com. You can also get John's shirt. I have the hat. John has the hat.
Our phone cases.
We both have the new phone cases. There we go for the all models of the iPhone, Android, whatever you got, folks.
Yeah, TheDecalJunkie.com. Yeah, so we're just going to have to...
So at the end of the show, what we were saying, though, is John's going to get that COVID test. We're going to video it to show you how honestly easy it is to do from your house.
It is going to be uncomfortable. I really don't want to do it. I mean, because we were talking about maybe we should get an intern so that if we have stuff
like this. I'm just saying, theoretically, if we had an intern, they would be doing the COVID test instead of John.
Right.
He's afraid to get anything in his nose, but we're going to show you how easy it is and unobtrusive that it really is.
Yeah, but that's only going to be on the YouTube. So, go over and check out that video. And even if you just listen to the whole podcast, wherever you're listening to it, then you just go to YouTube just for the end and then scroll all the way to the back of it.
Yeah, just watch the whole thing, listen to the whole thing, whatever you want to do. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and the Orlando Weekly voting is still going on.
Oh, yeah,
so
let's get all the whoring out in the front end.
Right? This is all commercials.
Yep.
No, OrlandoWeekly.com.
.com.
On the left upper corner, it's Readers Poll. You would open up the menu, and it goes to Readers Poll 2020, and you click on that, and then in local color, for Best Local Podcast, we're up for that.
One of the 37 nominees for that sounds like a joke. I think it's accurate. 32 or 37, but there's a litany of us up there. And we'd appreciate your vote. If you're listening to the show and you appreciate it, we'd appreciate that vote.
I don't know how this year it went from having 30-something to last year there was only 10.
Yeah, it was like 10 or 12 or something last year, which was a lot last year. It's grown and grown because the number of podcasts has grown. But you want my honest opinion on why there's so many? It's not just podcasts. It's every category has so many nominees. Some of these restaurant nominees, that it goes on for half a page of scrolling.
Well, but no, but you're taking away the experience or the special...
The prestige.
Yeah, the special...
Where's the prestige?
It's a good feeling to be able to get nominated. It went away with
the Orlando Weekly to begin with. Most people would tell you that. But...
Because now everyone's nominated.
Yeah,
so
it seems like an everyone's nominated scenario. I feel like my personal theory on why that is because when COVID hit and it shut down all going out, all restauranting, all live concerts, all live events and things that are going on around town, in a personal environment, it shut all that down. Well, that's what, aside from Orlando Weekly's far left leaning political stances that they post about, their other main goal, their 80% of their mission is to cover that scene, the local scene, the going out scene. When that shuts down, they're shit out of luck. They literally are not even producing a publication anymore. It's online only now. You can't get a paper version of it right now.
What's helping them out, and I think why there's probably more nominations too, is because they, one, they're a little bit more desperate, so they want to get more eyes on their page.
Absolutely.
So they
more potential sponsorship.
Yeah, because look and listen. I've listened to some of these podcasts. Like, let's see what we're up against. So you go into and start listening to some of them, and I'm not going to say names, but some of them are not good. Like Orlando Weekly clearly is starting to care a lot less.
Well, I don't think they were vetting things in the past. I think before though, where it was. Whereas now I feel like if you just kind of wrote in, if they got written in maybe a couple of times, they were like, okay, this has legs. They were mentioned 3 times. Let's put them in the nominee bracket. Whereas before, I think I don't know what the inside numbers were, but I feel like there was some type of a number with the nominees when they were, honing it down from 5 or 10 or 20. You know what I mean? To let's say from the 50 that they get into the 12 nominees that they go with. I feel like they're honing it down through numbers. Now I feel like that's kind of out the window. And in order to just get more names out there and more potential sponsorship back for them, because now more eyes are on them through people that had no idea about the Orlando Weekly until now they're nominated by them.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win for them.
Because, people are ecstatic that they're nominated now, and then they start pushing it and promoting it to go to the site. And I've been seeing a lot of these promotions, like even from companies for all different categories too. Of course.
You see it all on social media. Tis the season, as they say.
Yeah, they all these.
What they say, or is that Christmas? I don't remember. It's one of these holidays.
All these sponsored
it's
posts.
Award season for Orlando Weeklies.
Yeah, there's like all these sponsored posts and things going on, and it seems like some people are just really going above and beyond to try to win this thing. We're mentioning it. We say vote for us if you feel that way. But
because I would love a win or one a top 3 or whatever. I'm super happy that we got nominated. As much as we're like quote unquote jokingly shitting on it, I know we both appreciate the nomination because as much as there is no real prestige. That's kind of the joke we were making. It is like it's not prestigious, but it means a lot to guys like us because it means our listeners cared enough to go on to a site and click something for us.
Yeah, and
that means a lot.
I feel like we did find a good middle ground in terms of like putting it out there a little bit to vote for us. But some people are saying, and again, we're not saying names to other podcasts or any competition or to about anybody else. But some people were like saying, don't vote for us. At the Orlando Weekly, I don't want your vote. And try to keep it. You use it on somebody else if you do vote, but don't vote for me. Yeah,
they're kind of. I know you're talking about there, and they're kind of them, and there's a group of that kind of see that same way. That they're kind of against because you have to quote unquote buy the trophy at the end if you do win.
Yeah, but I don't want to be one of those people that just goes crazy with just promoting yourself and putting it everywhere.
A lot of shameless self promotion to it really hitting me right at home. Like
some of it is too much.
I can't even escape it. I can't even escape it when I go to work. Sometimes it's insane. I'm just trying to make fucking cheesesteaks. By the way, Cavo's best cheesesteak, best wings, best pub grub, Orlando Weekly. John and I both fully support all those categories.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely.
But I can't even go to work and make these best cheesesteaks, pub grub, and wings without fucking being bombarded with whoring of ads.
When I tell
trying to win some shit at a place where I work there.
When I tell you,
I have a nominated podcast that I feel is better than that one. Anyway, as you were saying,
I was listening to some of these, like I was saying, and they were just so. The quality was so low, and then for me to be seeing sponsored posts and this and that advertisement, and they're begging people, and they're way more on top of it than us. So their marketability and their marketing in general is fantastic. But
yes.
But then I listen to their shows to see what we're up, and it's like,
what's their content?
I don't know.
Content is boring or not there.
There's other things I feel like that you should be focusing on first, outside of just the.
Well, first, can we hear your content?
Is it
audible?
Yeah, then the content itself.
You're an audible medium. Can we hear you?
Yeah, because you can get as many eyes on your show as you want.
Who wants eyes? We're a podcast. Watch our video at YouTube.
It has to be solid. It has to be good. It has to be quality. It has to be worth it for people. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's just how I feel. I saw it
exactly.
everywhere.
I got a little passionate before, and I yielded to you, and you started in calm, and now you're getting passionate. So calm down, calm down.
Well,
if we do commit any crimes, though, we'll just wear our funny to informing buffs to cover our identity.
This is the last one, but it's in the group pages too sometimes, where people will post shit in group pages that have nothing to do with the group itself. And I've seen it a lot because I'm
shame in the effort of shameless self promotion.
Well,
it happens a lot.
Pretty much.
No, it happens a lot in our group and in groups that we're in for other shows and things like that. Absolutely happens quite often.
That's usually the angle is for self-promotion, but some of it is just like,
dangle my angle.
I'm in friends groups and Joe Exotic meme groups and, other talk shows groups. And
Joe Exotic meme groups. What do you got to share in there?
And sometimes people just share shit and I'm just like, why did you share it to this group? And like, besides trying to put yourself out there?
It's what you call the shotgun effect. Scattershot.
If anything, it should turn people off.
Exactly. I feel like it's you're scattershotting the turn-off ability of your over-marketing.
Yeah. Anyways. Okay.
We digress.
It gets better because you just got a new place.
Oh, yeah.
And a new
we're going to blow
car.
right through that. Not a new car or a new place, both of which very old.
No.
Kind of crappy.
But
but they do. One provides wheels, the other provides a roof. If things get bad, one provides both. You know what I mean?
You got a new car and a new place that you're staying at now, so things are starting to look up a little bit more for you.
Yeah.
To downplay it.
To quote Mel Gibson, freedom!
Yeah, but full disclosure, your place is falling apart any day now.
Dude,
I think.
Jesus Christ!
I think any day.
That's rough, dude.
If I were to be totally honest with you,
man, I thank you for your honesty.
Hadn't ridden in the car yet.
It seems to hold together well. In full disclosure, also the speedometer is not working right now, so I had no idea how fast I was going down a brick road last night, but it was too fast. I know that because I hit a hard kathunk, a big old bump, and it was probably not ideal, but the tires held up. It doesn't look like our friend Rocky's truck or your back tire of your car, John Hannon.
Well, yeah, and I have
also headboard fully operational. No hoarding going on in my car either.
We saw when you walked into your house, the door frame was kind of like on a slant, and in
my bedroom. It's just at the top, and they had to cut the door to fit that angle. It's like a dwarf house. I mean, it's not short, but it's like something you'd see in a weird painting. It's an abstract house painting
because it's like smaller in size, but it's kind of cozy too.
Yeah. Once I get it set up, it'll be cool. I need a new TV in the living room already. That thing is fucking shit.
Yeah. Is it one bathroom or do you have your own?
No, one bathroom. I do have a roommate, so there has been, just like and I've shared a bathroom with roommates in the past, but in those cases, I kind of our schedules with bathroom usage synced up a little better. In this case, a lot of times in the mornings when I get up just to take a piss in the morning or whatever, my roommate, it'll be the same time, ironically enough, that my roommate will be in there taking a shower.
Oh my God.
One of the first days that happened this week. Well, it actually happened this morning, John. I got up and but I learned from my previous mistake, and I went out back and I dangled my angle in the backyard, and I took care of business because I learned a hard lesson.
What was your previous mistake?
I learned a hard lesson on one of the first mornings I was there because I woke up to use the bathroom. Thank God it was only a pee. And I go to use it, roommates in the bathroom. And I luckily, I was like, well, I'll go out back, but I only had my sandals and I had to go. I didn't feel like I had time to put on shoes, and because the grass is a little fucking tall and shit out back, and I was like, I don't want to get bit by a snake while I'm taking a piss, right? So I was
there are people
I had to go.
There are people that feel comfortable enough when someone's showering to use the bathroom.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
No,
we're not there yet. There is a non-see-through shower curtain, so it's not like he would have seen me. But no, we're definitely not there.
Me
yet.
And my girl do that, but that's different,
Yeah, well, my roommate's not my man, so we're not there yet.
So what did you do?
So I had a bottle in my room. I did think about it. I was like, well, I'm not pissing in the kitchen sink either. That's disgusting.
Oh no.
So I had an empty bottle. And I was inspired by my roommate who, when we were moving, had to pee while we were at the storage unit. And I was like, oh, the bathroom's in the office up front. And he was like, nah, it's way too fucking far. I'll use this Gatorade bottle. And he went to the corner of the storage unit and fucking pissed in the Gatorade bottle.
No.
So I was like, well, homeboy just did it, my roommate. And he just did it at the storage place. So fucking, and cheers to you, sir. I'm going to piss in this fucking empty bottle. Well, the lid of the bottle was the mouth of said bottle. It was an 18-ounce bottle, by the way. I looked afterwards. You'll find out why. The mouth of the bottle was just wide enough to where the girth of the mouth hole was just smaller than the girth of the mushroom head.
Oh my God.
So I had to not smush, but like I had to just make sure I held force on the bottle to said mushroom head so that all fluids would go into the bottle, because I'm in my room, by the way. I have no sanitary environment to do this in with a toilet or anything.
Did it overflow?
It didn't. No, 18 ounces. It definitely did not overflow.
Then you got to pull out and like
pull out.
It's emergency.
So I start going and everything's working out fine. My angle, my dangle is great. It's like going right in the bottle, no drippage, but I'm holding such a tight seal that the bottle is connected to the head. And
like the skin suctioned onto
it didn't suction. No, because it wasn't like in there. It was just around the hole on the tip. And
oh my God.
But as the volume of the air in the bottle is going away, it's creating pressure. And I'm like, oh God. And so I couldn't really stop. So I just kind of like moved a little bit, and the seal that was created had popped, and it just was like a little and it puffed off a little bit, and just a little spritzel, like sprayed around. And I was like, oh God, but I held it. I held it. And then I held just a little gap of air in there, so that didn't happen. But all said and done, this 18-ounce bottle probably fucking filled up with like at least 12 to 14 ounces. Man. I was worried. As I'm peeing in it and it's becoming full after I took care of the seal issue. The seal issue. Kiss from a rose on the grave. But as I fixed that, I was worried that it was going to overflow, and the first thing that came to mind was Dumb and Dumber, when fucking Harry's like, it's filling up, give me another bottle. Yeah. And he's like, oh yeah, where do I go? I can't stop once I've started, it stings. And I didn't even have another bottle. I would have been, I don't know, pissing in a trash can.
To pinch that off, you cannot.
No, not for that long. No.
Hell no.
So it worked out. Everything was fine. I washed my hands like a goddamn good Samaritan, good citizen.
So
a good Samaritan, because then I gave candy to elderly people.
Wait, how long have you been there? A week?
Yeah. Yeah, week today.
This has already happened like twice. Where you got to figure out a timeline.
Well, I peed in a bottle once, but the pee thing, yes, I was like, I decided this morning to go out back. I braved the elements in my sandals and said, "Fuck it. If there's a snake, I'll run him off." Aside from my own snake,
peeing in a bottle, baby.
Come on and piss me out.
Oh my God,
freestyle.
That is rough. You're like you just started living there, and it's.
We'll sync it up, or I'll just be like, bro, let's get tight enough where I'll just like I'll give a hard knock, stick my head in, and be like, it's just me pooing. Don't peek your head out here.
Don't look. Yeah,
and I'll just squeeze out a hot one.
No. If you poop, yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that.
I was gonna say
I'm leaving a coiler, but I won't flush, so it won't fuck up your water pressure, bro. You're good.
If you have to
just flush when you get out, there'll be a hot coiler in there.
No. If you have to piss, you can come on in. That's fine and dandy.
Okay.
Great.
Okay.
You're not going to be taking a shit while it's getting humid
shits
in the bathroom.
Oh, I hate that. Sometimes I got to do that, and then obviously there's no bottle situation there. I need a bucket from my room, by the way. Remind me to stop at Home Depot when we leave. But
dig a hole and get a bucket.
I can't obviously do that. So some days I have to like hold it, and I'm like, doing the poo dance. And I got to wait on him to come out, obviously, on that one. So he comes out, and I just like, I scurry in there, and it's so humid, bro. I'm like sauna shitting. Sauna shitting is not ideal.
Because I feel like the smell travels more when it's like heat and like it's kind of wetter air.
Maybe.
Oh, I don't even want to talk about it.
It travels more, but you can taste it. You can taste the heat.
No, we can definitely move on, and it's probably
is this chocolate.
It's probably not going to get any better because now we're going to Tuttle's 10.
Oh yeah, let's move on to something much more tame.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to pass it off to Tuttle for his 11th Tuttle's 10, right?
Tuttle's 10, number 11. We want to remind everybody at the top of this every week. Tuttle's thoughts do not represent the thoughts and opinions of Funny to Informing, its host, guests, sponsors, or affiliates.
Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
It's 10 minutes with Tuttle.
Greetings and welcome welcome to another edition of Tuttle's 10. Thanks to the guys from Funny to Informing, John and Chris, for having me on every week. The last couple of weeks, I just called in. Make sure you check out my podcast. It's the Tuttle Daily Podcast. Can be found on all podcast platforms, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn Radio app, as well as 315live.com. So the guys this week wanted me to talk about addiction. Now, this should be an easy one for me. I've dealt with it all through my life. There's so many types of addiction. There's so many theories that people have on addiction, why people get addicted to stuff. And it's different for every single person. Now, with me, I had a great upbringing. I was pretty sheltered throughout my life. I don't want you to think I'm making excuses, because I'm not. I'm responsible for everything that I put into my body. But the main reason why I started out with experimenting, that's what I like to call it. People have this interest. Humans are interested in things. They don't want to be left out. So I experimented when I got to Orlando. I didn't lose my virginity until 20, but the first time I took any illicit drugs was because of a girl. It was marijuana. Yes, people say a gateway drug, but I don't believe that one bit at all.
Okay, I'm gonna wait. Yeah, because I don't believe that either, but I don't even believe in calling it a drug.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, illicit. Is it illicit? I don't know. It's medicinal in a lot of places now. It's fully legal in a few places.
See, to me, it's strictly a plant.
Yeah, right.
That's all it is.
It brings up one of my favorite quotes from Half Baked, Dave Chappelle's character. I don't do drugs, only weed.
Yeah, and to him and trying to impress a girl and doing drugs to have more willpower and like be your own person. I've never given in to peer pressure.
Yeah, Tuttle.
It sounds like Tuttle gave in to peer pressure a little bit.
That sounds like the Tuttle I know.
Yeah, let's let him continue here.
But what I'm trying to tell you is you do things, you experiment, you want to fit in. And I did it because I wanted to hook up with this chick. I wanted to impress her, and it just led down the road. Now, I love what I do for a living. I love working in radio, and I'm seeing a lot of radio guys get burnt out from doing drugs. So in my head, this is how the brain makes you consider that it's right. Because your brain will trick you into, you need that. You need it, and you need it to survive. I know it sounds stupid, but that's the way the brain works. So I thought it would be okay just to drink. It's legal. If it was so bad, it wouldn't be legal. So I'm good. I'm not a real addict. And it was just a downhill spiral. I drank more and more and more to medicate. And that's one of the biggest reasons is people don't like experiencing life. Everybody looks at these celebrities, and that's another scenario I'll get to here in a few minutes. But what I'm saying is people don't like pain. They don't like adversity, and they take things to escape that. Does it make it right? No, because humans, we've become too weak. We've gotten away from being our animalistic selves. Do you think a gazelle every day that's stressed out because he has to fight for his life and get chased down by a cheetah, you think he goes home and does a line of cocaine just to feel better about his near-death experience? No. We don't even have to deal with stuff like that on a daily basis. We're such pussies as humans. We can't even deal with stress, so we self-medicate. We do it because, hey, I need this to be able to get through everyday life. And there's just some people that deal with it better than others. Person like me, I did it because, I got to get up so early in the morning, so I'm going to drink myself to sleep. And guess what? When I get up in the morning, I'm going to do a 30 milligram Adderall just to get my day rolling. And then I would be so geeked out on the Adderall, when I got off of work, I'd have to drink. I was almost doing like a redneck speedball. I was doing uppers and downers.
See, that is such a complicated lifestyle that Tuttle's living. That doesn't even sound fun, doing the amount of drugs that he's doing or was. not is, was.
It definitely sounds excessive. Yeah, was. Yeah, it sounds excessive. I like that he called it a redneck speedball. I thought I had heard that. I was going to call it a redneck speedball. Beautiful. Yeah, it's just like a little bit of trucker speed for breakfast, bookended by some alcohol or some white boy crackers, as he calls them out there at the Hobo Fish Camp.
All that overcomplication just sounds exhausting and a lot less fun and more about like the necessity of needing drugs.
Medicating.
Yeah, just to kind of, I guess, feel normal-ish.
Normal-ish.
Yeah, or
that's the newest show on ABC.
A bit of numbness and normal-ish.
First you had blackish, then you had grayish, now you have normal-ish.
And numbness. Normal-ish and numbness.
Numbish.
So yes, a lot of people self-medicate. It's acceptable, people. People look at it, hey, if that's what it takes to get through life, go ahead. Now, you know that I spent some time in a mental institution, and when I was around other crazy people, other people dealing with depression, I saw a pattern. And that pattern was everybody, for the most part, that deals with mental illness, take illicit drugs to deal with their problems. A lot of people are embarrassed to admit that they have mental issues, so they'll go elsewhere to get the medication that they need, like street-level drugs, just to cope with themselves, just to feel alive and be able to make it where you don't want to kill yourself, even though you're kind of killing yourself in a roundabout way, but that's still how the brain works. Your brain is almost like separate from your body. It controls you, makes you do things that you don't want to do, but you do it because you want to survive everyday life. Now, there are some people that believe that addiction is hereditary, and I kind of do feel like it could be. I feel like it could be something that's handed down from generation to generation. If you look, I'm talking about patterns. Once again, you look at most part, if your family, your parents were alcoholics or they did drugs, you're going to have that.
Well, okay, so because when he said it was hereditary, that would kind of insinuate that it's in your DNA. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I mean, some babies come out.
People do argue that
some babies do come out instantly addicted to certain things,
yeah.
And then they have to go through like a withdrawal, like slow, reductive program to kind of get them.
Yeah, they got to
slowly
wean
off.
them off heroin and shit.
Yeah,
that is
yeah,
sad.
That does happen sometimes. So it could be hereditary, but I think like some families kind of treat it like a tradition where they force their kids to try shit. You know,
okay. You took it more generally. Like, as you tend to do. Well, I took it more specifically, and I'm thinking more, what's your excuse, Tuds? If you were addicted and your parents, it's hereditary. Oh. You're trying to tell us something about your folks?
Yeah, that. I didn't even think of it like that.
That's fine. It's a coming out party. Okay. See what he's got to say.
Well, let's let him continue.
Now, some people are going to say, well, it's the environment you're growing up in. Yes, I agree. I agree with that as well, too, people. But I think it also has to do with hereditary and the environment you're raised in. And that's going to lead you down the path because that's all you know. Everybody looks at their parents as, hey, those people raised me. If they're doing it, growing up, they taught me right from wrong. So if they're drinking, they have addiction problems. So fuck it. Why not me? I'm just going to go in with both feet. I want to be like mom and dad.
Okay, yeah, and that's true.
See, told you. We're getting your folks help, Tuttle. We're reaching out after the show. We have a sponsor that does addiction. And we're going to set you guys up.
Yeah, my fear, and I think the reason why I never really caught on to like hard drugs or an addiction per se, was because I had a fear of my parents. My parents didn't get caught up in anything like that.
Okay, so but now you're an adult. You have no fear of parents. What keeps you off of the crack, John Hannon?
Well, the only
it's okay to cry.
The only one that would kind of pertain to me, I guess, is alcohol a little bit. But my dad would openly drink.
But you're not addicted to it, though. I know you. Like, you binge drink and you get too drunk, probably more often than you should. Same here. Ding, ding, ding. I'm not leveling anything.
But not
against
enough
you,
to
not
be
me.
on like.
But you don't need it to get through your day.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, obviously, you drink to have because it makes things more fun or whatever. Same thing we all do socially, kind of, right? But you don't sit at home fucking drinking.
No,
me neither.
No. When I'm home,
or if I'm at a bar,
exactly.
And then I go home and I don't drink. I generally don't even have alcohol or beer at my house most of the time.
Yeah, realistically, and I don't know when it changed exactly, but yeah, it's only like a few times per week, I guess you could say. But it's not. I mean, people that are on
it's too many for the doctor's paperwork.
Yeah.
You know, the one that's like, do you have if you have more than 7 drinks a week, it's excessive. And I'm like, that's like 2 days. That's a day.
Yeah,
what are you talking about? What's a drink? What do you consider a drink?
Like the people that were all on like what's that show? Intervention. Okay, that's like,
was that the Intervention? That wasn't Dr. Drew.
No,
Horde of the Stars. Okay, different topic.
That's like they'll drink like 4/5 of a vodka bottle every day. You know, and
4/5,
and it's amazing like how they function and are totally fine even after downing so much. You know, literally whole bottles of vodka or like 3 or 4 bottles of wine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I know I'm okay and fine with
it's crazy. In an ironic twist of fate, vodka is only 4/5 of whiskey.
Yeah, and there's a fine line. Wait.
Just think about that for a second. Just move along.
Wait.
Don't stall on it.
I'm starting to think about it.
Just keep going.
I don't know. Yeah, but you know, for me, it's where's the line between a habit and the addiction?
Yeah.
Because I feel like for me, drinking, you know, and smoking is a habitual or something.
It's a habit, right? But you don't have to have it.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I'm not a nasty person.
I feel like that's the line.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. Okay,
maybe Tuttle answers that question.
Yeah. Let's let him continue.
What you got, Tuds?
But the worst part is that us as Americans, we've become too soft. Do you think that these people that live off the land, the natives, these tribes, do they have addiction problems? Yeah, I mean, they take stuff for spiritual reasons to get a closer connection to God, but they're not getting fucked up on a daily basis because you can't be fucked up when you gotta go out and kill and fight for your survival every single day. You gotta be on top of your game. We've become too soft here as Americans, and anytime we face adversity, we go to the bottle. We go to the pills, we go to the ecstasy, whatever your vice may be. That's how Americans look at things now. That's why we're killing ourselves at an amazing and an alarming rate every single day, because we can't deal with life. So we would rather have a good time while we're here and say, fuck it. If I die, at least I had a good time and I ain't got to deal with all the bullshit every single day.
Great outlook, Tuttle. I love it that Tuttle has famously in the past, if anyone's listened to this bit for any length of time, railed against Canadian rapper and Nickelodeon star extraordinaire Drake. I feel like that what he just wrapped up with only brings to mind a quote from the great Drake himself. I'm not here for a good time. I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time.
Oh, you flubbed it.
I flubbed it. I didn't. Yeah, I flubbed it. Just you got to edit that out.
If you remember, Drake said.
Cut that. Drake said.
Don't
shoot. Don't shoot. Oh, I'm already in a wheelchair. Also, Lil Wayne, YOLO.
Oh, okay.
He said that too. I didn't flub that one.
The one
Lo-yo. Damn it, said it wrong.
YOLO.
No, that's right.
Yo, that is right. And I tried to say it wrong, if you would believe that.
You flubbed the flub. All right.
The only thing I picked up from it was that people do it to get away from the bullshit, and I feel like that's kind of a weak excuse because people deal with bullshit every single day and all the time. Everybody does.
Yes, on different levels for sure.
Yeah, it definitely on different
amounts
levels
of bullshit.
Yeah, and I feel like there's people that deal with a lot of bullshit that don't take any drugs or catch any addictions that deal with it and get through it. And then there's people that have, small problems that do have drug addictions. And then there's people, and it fluctuates and it's all over the place.
Absolutely, but that's kind of what he's saying with the maybe those people don't have it hereditarily. Is that a word?
Hereditarily?
Due to heredity.
I like that. I don't know. Let's let him finish this up here.
Okay.
And that leads me to my final addiction. And I'm going to call you guys a pussy because I don't feel like it's an addiction. But I saw a video of a guy, he was like this bodybuilder, and he was talking about how he lost his entire life savings on online porn. Now, I'm going to say something here. If you lose your money to online porn, it's not that you have an addiction problem. It's that you are the dumbest motherfucker that I've ever seen in my life. If you're paying for porn, you have way bigger issues. Pornhub, oh shit, X-Hamster, UJizz, whatever porn site is your go-to jam, it's all free. So if you pay for porn, that's not an addiction. You're just bad with money. Hope you guys enjoyed this week's Tuttle's 10. I want to thank John and Chris, the guys from Funny to Informing, for having me on, and I'll talk to you next week.
Thank you so much, Tuttle, as always.
Tuds, you're the man. Thank you for another quickly thrown together while you're riding down I-75 in the PT Cruiser Studios. Tuttle's 10.
Yeah, I know.
But honestly, whether you did it in an hour or you did it over the course of the whole week, the content was there, and we appreciate your thoughts on it. That's why we give you 10 minutes to just rail on something.
No, yeah, I do just encourage you, hang on to the edge of the wind tunnel, because if the breeze gets a little bit harder, you're going out the one end.
Tuttle's not a huge man, but he would say, muscle weighs more than fat, and I'm working out, fellas.
Yeah,
I'm turning my addiction to tweaking my body. I'm putting all my efforts into it.
Oh my god! Yeah,
that's my best Tuttle.
But I mean, his point at the end was very a very good point.
He brought up some good argumentable points. In which case, we argumented it on them good.
I enjoy.
Wah, wah.
I enjoy like that. No, because it is obvious. Like, you can get porn for free. X-Hamster and all this. Like,
yeah, he read off a list of them. I was bookmarking them on my laptop while also writing them, just in case I need a hard copy.
Quickly log it while he's listing them off. Like, okay, this is good. I'm
Did
surprised
you say
he
hard
knows.
Copy?
I'm surprised.
That's what she said.
I'm surprised he knows so many porn sites.
I'm not.
It's
He's listed off some disgusting ones in the past. I swear, I remember one. It sticks out. Dogfart.com. Dogfart? That's a porn site? Gross. I don't want to see whatever porn showcase there, nor do I want to see in case it's an actual dog fart. No thanks.
Is porn really an addiction though? Like,
people have. Oh, you know who's famously talked about a porn addiction ironically on a podcast I listened to once? Terry Crews.
Really?
Admitted to having a porn addiction. He had one. He got over it.
You have no self-control if you can't.
I don't think he said he was spending money. It wasn't like, it's a different type of thing. It was just taking away from his sex life with his wife, I think, was his main thing.
Well, and at some point, like,
he was doing that instead of watching porn and like masturbating and stuff, instead of having a relationship with his wife.
Only one arm got really, really strong, so he had to even it out.
Yeah, see, that was early in his career. That's why he's so big. He started out as just a one right arm Quagmire type character, and there was no good roles for that guy. He played all the black crabs available in Hollywood, and quickly needed to get on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah,
so
I don't know.
Evened it out.
I mean, and it's hard to explain an addiction because, not everybody is going through what you're going through, but I just can't see myself tugging at my dick 10 to 15 times a day and like locking myself in a room.
Just like Rocky from What's the Fuss, use a mirror.
No. Yeah, all right.
That's how I see myself tugging a dick.
Yeah, I can't wait for the 12th Tuttle's 10. That was a great 11.
Tuttle's 12.
Yeah. That
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
It's Tuttle's 12.
Jinx, show me a crack.
Yeah, maybe we'll...
So many right now, bro. What's the running tally on that?
I don't know. That's, 55
something
for you.
like that.
And I definitely have like 2 or 3, though.
Yeah, you've gotten a couple back.
At least.
The scale's in this side, though. But yeah, thank you, Tuttle, for that. Quickly, before we get into our digis, I wanted to say, while we were talking right there, I don't know what jogged my memory on this, but shout out to listener, friend of the show, Kelly. Thanks to your idea, we are deep in the process of making the Spotify playlist.
Yes. Well, good.
For all the music, I've pulled all the music. Well, I've gotten a list of all the music. John's going to pull it and make a Spotify list of as much of it as he can find. And it's from every episode from really like 113 on, because I realized when I was doing this that starting back at episode 100 is where we went FTI live with the Twitch live streaming and stuff.
So when we do episode 150 and kind of look back on some of the moments, some of them are going to be the live moments from the first few episodes.
They absolutely will be. I wasn't going to tell him we were doing that yet. John just let the cat out of the bag. It's fine. I'm not mad at
Oh
you.
well, I mean,
It's not a huge deal. Yeah, we're not doing a show. We're gonna scapegoat under the rug, take a week off, and give you best of for $150. Now, I feel like we should do some shooting again. Shots.
that's what we're gonna do. I
Absolutely.
love because I
That
kind
was
of
fun. We'll do it at here. We'll do it at my place. Whatever.
I personally enjoy the process of looking back on everything and kind of
Me too. It was fun pulling this music. Even because I listened to some of the bullshit and I got a couple of highlights for us to go over.
Yeah,
there.
and like reminiscing a little bit, and it is kind of weird though that like as we mentioned that we're gonna put the playlist together, and we're probably gonna do one for Spotify and one for YouTube.
Because we'll find some more of the mashups. We're gonna have trouble with some of the mashups. I didn't realize when I started pulling mashups that some of those would be hard to find on Spotify, but I found a lot of them on YouTube, so I know they're there. So
yeah. No,
we're definitely gonna put it. We've got it going. Kelly, we love you. Thank you. You're a Patreon patron, and we love you for that.
And we found a hammock to do our next Patreon episode.
That's right. Hammock cast.
So we are
live from a hammock.
We are going to be podcasting on a fucking hammock.
Laziest Patreon show ever. Laziest podcast of any time ever.
Yes.
We're going to get the record on that.
Exactly.
But the Spotify playlist is coming, and it was cool doing, like I said, pulling that. Pat myself on the back. There was some fucking good music in there. Like, I can't wait for the playlist because I'm going to listen to some of that shit. Some of those songs, when I found them, I was like, I'm going to let this play. Because I was at work, and I was like, I'll just keep listening to that till it's done, and I'll go to the next show, fast forward to the music, and then write down what it is.
I mean, most of them, just because we go week to week, and we're kind of all over the place, and we're nonstop. I forgot half of them.
Me too.
Then I'm looking
but
at the
then when
list,
I gave you were like, yeah, okay, and we were talking about this because it got more and more themed as it got later.
Yeah,
and later.
and I was like, oh shit, okay, I like it.
It was a good list of music.
Yeah,
Thank you for the idea, Kelly. We got you.
But oddly enough, we do not have a break from this episode, so
we're jamming.
There is no music to cut to, but we are about to get into the Digi Hears, so let's play that track that Sean loves.
Did you hear that?
Did you hear that?
Did you hear? Did you hear? Did you hear? Did you hear? Did you hear?
Original rap. We bring it to you live in the physical, digital download theory, reaching critical mass. We give it that roll. We love if you give us a little back. We can't be too mad at you for clicking on that. Yo, did you hear? Horror show all up in your ear. Yo, did you hear?
Did you hear? And
up in your ear. Did you hear? I didn't fuck those lyrics up. Shit.
We don't have that many this time around. We're trying to jam it in, and we're
cramming this in there. We're gonna run through these quick Did you hears.
Yeah, and I'm gonna just start with an update on one. We mentioned that Kanye was running for president, and we didn't know how serious it was, and but there was an update that $1 million is what he is offering for everybody who has a child, every American that has a child. He had his first rally just recently, and that was one of his stipulations. I'm going to give $1 million to everybody who has a baby. And I don't know.
$1 million to everyone with a baby.
Yeah.
Well, I had a baby 20 years ago. Does that count? Give me $1 million.
Right?
Like, how Bernie Sanders of this motherfucker, by the way. Is he anti-Bernie? Because if he's anti-Bernie, he's coming in and playing the Bernie role.
He's just spouting a bunch of randomness. I mean, maybe some of it would have to come out of his own pocket if he actually wants to make it true.
Wow.
But there's no way that it's actually going to be a real thing. But I mean, presidents.
Maybe Lloyd's of London will back that too.
Yeah. But presidents all the time make false promises or just say that they're going to do things. Yeah, this is the most recent example. Just because Trump is president now, so I pulled up.
Thank God Trump's president. I tried to go to Mexico yesterday. The wall stopped me.
Okay, so that's the first example. So this is the examples.
It said Hecho in Mexico right on the wall too. I don't know what that meant.
So in terms of like the president that we have now, only 3 miles of the wall have been built. Mexico isn't paying for it. Hillary is not in jail. Obamacare wasn't repealed or replaced. North Korea and Iran are building nuclear weapons. There is no China trade deal. The deficit has skyrocketed. Race relations have worsened. Tens of millions are unemployed, and our country is the epicenter of a global pandemic. And those were those things.
Were all promises of the past.
Yeah, because when you go to Obama and say that he should be, stepping down as president,
he should be arrested for being a Muslim. Obviously,
I mean, it's
I heard that before.
Yeah, and I mean, Obama's made false promises, and then George Bush has made false promises, and so on and so forth. So,
and here I thought George Bush W was the worst spoken president I'd ever seen in my lifetime. I mean, he was. Then he was usurped 4 years ago. That doesn't mean slow. My biggest takeaway from what you just said, though, is that when I tried to cross the border, I found the only 3 mile stretch of fence. You're saying if I walked 3 miles in one direction, I would have been fucking clear?
It would have taken you about
Son of a bitch.
Would have taken you 45 minutes or so, but you would have gotten to one side or the other.
God,
it's like,
now I'm really upset.
Have you ever seen Blazing Saddles, where they put that?
I have. There's a lot of N-words in that
They
movie.
put that toll booth in the middle of the desert,
Yeah.
and then they go back for dimes instead of going around it,
Yeah.
because they could just easily.
That's
what it feels like right now.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
That's what we got. There's our Blazing Saddles wall on the south border. It's terrible. To you.
Oh, is it back to me?
Yes.
No, I waited for
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I was asking you. I was like, is it back to me? And you just gave me a dead stare. Good to know, back to me in the studio. No, but this is kind of more of a downer story, although Kanye West running for president is kind of a downer story because that's fucking crazy. But
he'll never win.
Out of Terre Haute, Indiana. Have you heard of it? I think it's the...
Hell no.
Is that it might be the capital, I don't know. But out of Terre Haute, Indiana... only the second execution.
Indianapolis is the.
Is it?
The capital of Indiana.
Thank you. And I usually know capitals well.
Yeah.
Good job, John Hannon.
Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Indianapolis, Indiana, and Columbus is the capital of. There's a whole
song. Is that
song
from Animaniacs?
It
sounds like it is.
There's a whole song for it.
Out of Terre Haute, Indiana, the federal government has executed its second person in 18 years. They, I guess, have pretty much halted executions for going back the last 18 years federally. But have executed 2 men in the last week.
Oh, wow!
So they've really been hitting it hard. They're up 200% in the last 18 years.
Yeah,
so
they're going all out now.
Yeah, they carried out its second federal execution in 3 days, following a hiatus of nearly 2 decades, killing by lethal injection a Kansas man whose lawyers contend he had dementia and was unfit to be executed. Well, they didn't care about that, and they pulled the trigger.
That sounds like a BS excuse. But I don't know. What's the
difference in federal? Because that was my first thing. Nobody's been killed by a state in 18 years.
I've seen
they
executions
have been killed by the state, not by the federal government. It's that whole with marijuana regulations, how it's legal in the state. Like for the longest time, it still stands to this day. It's legal in the state of Colorado. It's legal in the state of California. However, it's illegal by federal standards.
So it comes down to it comes down to state law and federal law.
It does,
pretty much.
Rocky, being the
help us out a little bit here.
Expedient researcher that he is, pulled actual facts on this for us because I have no idea.
Am I here loud and clear?
You're on. I hear you perfectly.
All right, cool. This is from procon.org. This is they claim to be nonpartisan. I don't really know a ton about them, but basically the difference between federal and state problems are, well, the federal government has a much wider umbrella, and basically a state, if they have decided that they don't want to execute or they want to impose a certain thing or let someone go, the federal government can still step in because the federal government has different laws than state law.
And federal overrides state law.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every single day of the week. That's why even when California said that marijuana was legalized, they were still getting raided and stuff like that because the federal government does precede them. So if they say that someone needs to die for a crime, someone needs to die for a crime, and they can be overrided, unfortunately.
Okay, by the feds. Good to know.
Yeah,
that's why
that
the
makes
same reason in for the marijuana laws, these marijuana dispensaries and shit couldn't use the federal banking system. They could not use credit cards and things like that because it's illegal federally. So they're using drug money, which is illegal federally. They can only do it on a state basis. That's why they were always dealing in cash for the longest time.
That's it. Yeah, because I remember.
think that's slowly becoming a thing, though. You can now use your card at a lot of dispensaries.
It's one of those slow battles, that you're trying to fight for. But
well, they put to death Wesley Island Perky. You curious as to what this guy did, as to why they decided to kill him?
It has to be super.
For one of the only 2 men in 18 years to be killed by the
it has
feds?
to be really serious.
For this one, he was sentenced and executed for kidnapping and killing a 16-year-old girl, Jennifer Long, before dismembering, burning, and dumping her body in a septic pond. That's what this one was for. He was also convicted in a state court in Kansas of using a claw hammer to kill an 80-year-old woman who had polio.
Oh, wow. Okay, so there's, clear intention
Probably
there.
killed her for not getting the polio vaccine. That's a mostly overridden fucking disease at this point.
And those
Just saying. It's not right. He shouldn't have done it. He shouldn't have did it. He's a terrible human being. But also, a lady gets a polio vaccine. Jonas Salk was mad old.
If you're pro-vaccine or anti-vaccine, there's people act very extremely.
He was a hardcore pro-vaxxer.
Yeah.
She was a hardcore anti-vaxxer. They did battle. He won. He's finally lost, though.
They get extreme and they act crazy. Yeah, and clearly he is a little loose. There's some bolts loose upstairs. Yeah, for sure. I mean, wires are tripping all over the place. But I mean, so it makes sense. And whatever argument that there is, like, oh, he was so mentally unstable, so he doesn't deserve to get executed.
Yeah, they argue that, but again, that's so often argued that do you believe it? You immediately go, nah, prove it, because you don't believe it because it's the go-to.
I mean, especially in middle school. I mean, we're in our adolescence and we're a little naive, but there's times where my friends would say like, oh, I'll just do something crazy and then and then act crazy if they ask me about it. And then and then I'll claim insanity. I'm like, it's not as easy as just claiming insanity. You have to prove that you're clinically insane or that you're chemically, that you have an imbalance in your brain. They're going to test you. And they're going to find out whether or not you're bullshitting.
Psychological testing.
Yeah, and people try to game the system and say, oh, I'm so fucking wild and crazy.
The first step.
Yeah. Anyways, did you hear? Oh, everybody has heard this by now for the most part, but there has been an update to it. Have you heard that Will Smith...
The bird is the word?
Yeah.
I did once.
That Will Smith and Jada Pickett Smith... Will Smith...
Don't entangle your words, John.
Yeah, I knew you heard it. Will Smith and Jada Pickett Smith have... At Red Table Talk, it's a podcast that Jada Pickett Smith has where she kind of...
It's video-based as well. I heard at one point it was on Facebook Watch. I don't know if that's still a thing or if it's there. I never watched it. But
yeah, so she pretty much told Will Smith to his face about an affair that she had. And
she called it an affair?
No, she called it entanglement. You already know that.
Did she just call it that one time, and then she was done? Yeah. Was it like one and done and quick? I'm in an entanglement. Bye.
It was about through the podcast. I would say 1,500 times or so.
Shit. Okay.
No, it was. Yeah, she kept calling it entanglement. And at some point, Will Smith's like, "Can we just call it what it was?" And say it was like. And no, she was dancing. She was being very around the bush. But so she has a podcast or a
August.
Show. Yeah. Red Table Talk is her show, and she's telling Will Smith about this affair that she had.
So you're saying August burns red? Table Talk?
Yeah. So, and with...
Look up the reference, folks.
August was the person that it was with.
Sorry.
And so pretty much what was going on was, I guess they had broken up or something. It was kind of like we were on a break or we weren't.
We were on a break!
I don't know. It was something like that.
Oh, that's a different episode.
Yeah, and all these memes sparked out of Will Smith's reaction because he's sitting at the table just listening to Jada tell him about how she just cheated on him and had this big long thing going, and he looked very upset. He was trying to play it cool and as understanding as possible. Supposedly they have an open relationship.
Yeah, that's famously what I've heard. I never actually heard facts on that, but I have heard from so many sources that that's a known fact in Hollywood, that they have a very well-known open relationship, and that's how their marriage works out so well. And that was my first question was when I heard anything about this was, don't they have an open relationship? But I guess when you have an open relationship, you have like set rules. And apparently she went outside of these set rules and has fallen in love with this guy, which is clearly not the point of an open relationship. You're supposed to love your spouse and then just have physical things with other people. And this was well above and beyond physical, according to Jada Pinkett Smickett on her show.
Jada Pickett Smickett.
Red Tide Talk or whatever she talks about on her menstruation show.
Yeah, and and with the guy, the other person, what would they call them?
The other man.
Not the mistress because it's a guy.
Oh, the mister.
The Mr.
Mr. August.
Yeah. So August did a song with Rick Ross
because he's an R&B star, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's
I never heard of him.
Really?
Yeah. Does he just go by August, or is it like August
Alcina
Pinkett Smith?
I mean,
because he's fucking her bitch now.
It's August, and then he did a song with Rick Ross that's called Entanglement. And some of it is direct shots at the circumstance itself and towards Will Smith. I mean, it says it's when you're the definition of entanglement. It's when you're tangled in the sheets. Girl, I know that we don't call it a relationship, but you're still fucking with me. Like, ooh.
What a slam. I was riding that beat. Sorry, John. You had me going.
There is no beat.
I had it in my head, though. You were flowing. And I was like, my favorite's Rick Ross's line from it where he says, ooh, spaghetti entangled in my fork.
Yeah, because Rick Ross be jumping on it a little bit. And I mean, he's a little bit
overweight. Yes, he should see a doctor.
He makes these like references. He says, caught up in the Matrix. And I doubt if I can get up out it. Wait, what? No, some of this shit does not even make sense. Tell you all my darkest stories. Promise that you won't depart. Keys to over 40 cars. Left me with a broken heart.
Aww. But I don't care. Give me the 40 cars. I'll take the broken heart. Let's go.
I think August was a lot more direct.
Sell 7 cars, buy a new heart. Done. Yeah. Next problem.
This is the other thing that August said.
So what are you trying to say? He's got 99 problems, but Will Smith ain't one?
Yeah. Is
that where you're getting at?
Is there any more in your wheelhouse?
I'll come up with him. You just keep talking to
him. Okay. So he says, I'm on my way. I'm going to pull up when he dip. He's always think me and you fucking. If he sees me, he gonna trip. House with no key. Girl, I know I fucked up your hair. Lay you down and hit it right there.
That's your first mistake. Don't touch a black woman's hair, you son of a bitch.
It says, that ain't my girl, but I got the key to the crib and to your car. And when he says to your car, it's clearly a reference straight to Will
Smith. You think it's that Audi from iRobot? That was dope. I hope it's that car.
Ooh, it could have been.
Drives itself and stuff.
Yeah, but oh my God. So I'm sure there's going to be a response, but maybe August was reacting this way just because he felt so outed at the whole Red Table Talk thing. If you have a full-blown discussion and you mention his name and you're talking about this person and everybody knows you.
I just can't believe this happened a week ago or so with the Red Table whatever shit blow up. I literally had no idea until, I knew a little bit because I've been seeing the memes, but I didn't get the reference they were making reference to. So you told me a little bit before and that's all I knew, but I can't believe that it's in a week they have this fucking song out.
I know. It was a quick turnover, right? And
it's crazy.
You know for sure he's being kind of genuine, but it says...
genuine. Did she fuck him too?
Entanglement is when a man will lick until you tremble. Saddest part is I still love you, just to keep it simple. Ooh.
I don't know what that means.
It's still going on.
Will Smith because he's an old school fan.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be in rap in R&B if it wasn't for parents just don't understand, yo.
Don't hate me, Will.
Life.
Please don't hate me.
Damn.
I don't know. To you.
Back to me? Well, in unrelated news, but I bet Will Smith was in this story instead of that story. A 6-year-old boy remains in critical condition after suffering an attack from a 9-foot crocodile near El Palmar Beach in Ixtapa on Tuesday afternoon.
How big?
9 feet.
9 feet.
3 meters because it's coming out of Mexico, so they're giving me, but I did math in my head because I'm fucking smart. Thank you, Siri. Shout out.
Got it.
By Siri. But yeah, a 6-year-old boy apparently... I don't understand how this kid lived, how he's even in critical condition. The crocodile dragged the boy underwater and held him below the surface for roughly 10 minutes. The child suffered a number of bites on the head, arms, chest, and legs. The local boy from Zihuatanejo wandered away from his parents on the beach with his sister. According to a Mexico News Daily report, the pair explored a nearby estuary next to a Pacifica resort, which has a fenced-off area and a bridge overhead. Witnesses saw the reptile grab the boy by the head and pull him into the water to attempt a death roll. He was in there for 10 minutes. Apparently, staff and people on the beach were throwing rocks at the fucking crocodile to get it to stop. I guess it stopped. It kind of glazes over that and then just goes on to say, they threw stones in an attempt to scare the creature away. Hotel medical staff arrived on the scene to attend to the injured child, who was quickly sent to a hospital where he's being treated for serious injuries.
Wow. I mean, well, at least he didn't die.
I hate how it glazes that over. How did they, 10 minutes? How did he not drown? How did you get in a death roll from a crocodile, by the way? How the fuck do you get out of that?
I mean, I'm more like from the bystander perspective. You're sitting there throwing rocks. Like, go get something a little bit sharper or with a little bit more of a jagged edge. Kind of. Yeah,
go gadget crocodile killer. Am I right?
Unless you really don't care about the person, then let them fucking die.
Well, it's a 6-year-old kid. They're trying to stop it, but they're throwing rocks. But I guess if
you're throwing rocks, you're pissing it off.
No, you are.
You're not killing an alligator.
But
you're not
do you
concussing
go out there
it.
and like fucking like with your hands try to stop it?
No, you get something.
You get a broomstick and you put it in between his jaws like a dog and you pry it open.
Instead of wasting time throwing rocks, try to find something.
They were just reacting. That would be my guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
Apparently, the hotel staff is kind of to blame. They are allegedly feeding the crocodiles, to entertain tourists, which everyone knows don't feed wild animals because then they associate humans with food, and when they see humans, they get hungry. And if you don't give them food, 6-year-old boys become food.
They are completely to blame then, for sure. No doubt.
Mijos.
Yeah.
Lo siento.
Did you hear, we definitely got to move it along. Did you hear that Judge Esther Salas, a New Jersey judge, she was just recently assigned to the Epstein, it's Epstein, but it's like Epstein's Deutsche Bank.
It's probably some illegal banking stuff or something. Yeah, it's not. It has nothing to do with the sex crimes or whatever.
No, and it's not like anything with
nothing to do with sex trafficking.
Yeah, not with Ghislaine either. And
Ghislaine.
Yeah, Ghislaine Maxwell. None of that stuff. So I guess it's kind of more on the financial aspect. But just recently this week, not even that long ago, less than a week, a few days ago, she was put as the judge on that case. And
sucks for her.
And all of a sudden. Her husband is injured now, and her son is dead. They were shot by a guy that was disguising themselves in a FedEx uniform, wearing a mask. Because of the COVID regulations.
Obviously, see, it gives everyone carte blanche to cover their identity and commit crimes.
So wearing a mask, in a FedEx uniform, so it looked like they were just delivering a package initially. So you clearly think that this person intended to get away with it,
right?
And trying to do it as smooth as possible.
That's crazy.
And Esther Salas ended up uninjured. Her husband severely injured, and her son dead. After all of this.
That's crazy. The son and the husband had zero to do with it. She was just assigned this case. I'm sure she didn't fucking petition for it.
Right, right.
Poor her, dude. This is like a news story.
Yeah, well, okay, so we do have details, too, of the person, because as far as we knew when we first were looking at it...
The alleged shooter.
Yeah, it was just
the FedEx driver, who I thought was like... It was a FedEx driver?
It was just like this weird guy in a FedEx uniform, and nobody knows. Okay, so what happened?
All right, basically, this has a lot of levels. There's a lot to unpack here. I'll do it really quickly. Before the Epstein trial happens, there's going to be a lot of mini trials, because a lot of illegal things happened. So this judge was recently assigned to something that had to do with the Epstein case, and I don't know if it was Ghislaine Maxwell. I don't know if it was something that that was related to. You said it was banking related. I hadn't actually read that.
Yeah, Deutsche Bank, which I know is like something in Europe, which people I think use as a hiding spot for money.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sure there was laundering going on.
Absolutely.
Well, Roy Den Hollander, who is he's actually an attorney as well. He's actually kind of a dickhead. He's a men's rights quote unquote attorney, but really he's a prick. He actually has a famous battle with two of my favorite people in the world, Opie and Anthony. They have a Jim Norton who's on the show. He had a great basically altercation with this guy. Anyway, so this guy dressed up as a FedEx guy, like you said, full in uniform.
A truck.
Yeah,
where did he get the truck?
Dude, I have no idea. Nobody believes
that's weird.
This case. They think it's a failed execution. A lot of people do. I'm not gonna say.
I don't understand the motives here, because it seems like he's a guy who makes money.
Okay, so he has a case pending with them. He's got
against Epstein.
No, against the woman that he was trying to assassinate.
Okay.
Her son opened the door. He was killed. Her husband was injured. Critically injured, and she was in the basement at the time, but they have some sort of, oh, you're right, bank investors, but she has some sort of business with this guy. They have an ongoing case already. I'm not exactly sure what that case is about, but they know each other quite well. And basically this guy was just found dead in his car with a package addressed to Esther Salas.
What the fuck? Yeah. I feel like they just put that there to tie that all together.
A lot of people are saying that.
What
also, the name of that town in Mexico was Zihuatanejo. That's where my family's from.
Zihuatanejo. I said it right. And it's spelled crazy. I did.
That is wild. That is such like a movie.
That is
drama.
A movie plot. Yes. You could make that into a movie, and it would take nothing. Fucking nothing.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, okay. So, and I don't know, because people are already doubting the fact that this guy killed himself.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Epstein didn't kill himself, nor did this guy.
Oh my goodness, that is so crazy. Okay,
that is crazy.
So let's. You have one more?
I got one final one. We can wrap it up.
Let's do it with that. Yeah.
Then we'll get to this COVID test for all the viewers.
Oh boy.
Did you hear? Everyone keeps whining about online retailer conspiracy this, online retail conspiracy that. I don't know about you guys, but I've been doing a lot of online shopping recently, and the prices and service seem to be way fair.
Oh, yeah, I kind of like that one. That's fine. We hope that you guys enjoy listening as much as we enjoyed chatting and shooting the shit. You can laugh with us or at us. It does not matter. This has been episode 146, Pick Up Sticks of Funny to Informing. I'm John. That's Chris Pizza Peisenberg Coleman. And Coleman?
Tip your conspiracy creators.
Okay, so now we are about to take a COVID test. Coleman's, Chris Pizza Peisenberg Coleman, his already came back negative?
Negative. That's what you're looking for, is negative test results.
Okay.
COVID-19 test. And I came back negative. I did not take this test. I have not used this version of it yet. I went to a urgent care center and got mine done. So I wanted to kind of highlight, I wanted to bring this video because I wanted to kind of highlight how simple this whole thing was. I literally went to pixel.labcore.com. It's right there. Anybody watching on this video can see it there in the camera, right in the top.
I do not want to take this test.
Yeah, John, for the record, John is not all for this. But I have eased his troubles a bit, and I've explained as I've already opened the box, I'm going to kind of go over the contents with you guys, and then again, show you how easy the whole thing was. I went to pixellabcore.com, ordered the kit. It came in like 2 days right to my door. It was totally free without insurance. If you have insurance, you can use it that way, and they will pay for it. But yeah, I eased John's pain or anxiety a bit when I showed him on here that it does not have to go deep into your nose like some of the first COVID tests had to do.
I just heard horror stories of,
Same.
like how far up it goes, or
Same.
like the lingering feeling hours after the fact.
Pressure and stuff, because it's all up in a hole in your head that you don't normally have things in.
Well, and this is like a mobile test, because we're like shipping this to FedEx after this,
Yes,
or
yeah,
through UPS or whatever.
Through FedEx, absolutely. Right, you drop it in a box, or I've already called. It gives you the information when you open the kit here on how to call and set up a pickup at your own location, and they will come and get it from you, or you can take it to a local box.
The scary shit that I heard was through, like people doing the on-site test. If it was on site, or you had to wait in your car, or they took it out to you, those were the ones that I heard that went like too far up the nose.
I heard those were really far as well.
Yeah, so this isn't as bad. If
it's not. I feel like it's come in stages, because when I got mine done, it was like not as far as those first tests I heard, but it was almost up to my eyeball. I felt like not quite to my eye. In my nose hole. So if you're getting any kind of indication,
I don't want to.
But these don't go that far.
My nose feels kind of dry. So I don't know.
It's fine. You have mucus in there. It's a mucus membrane.
This is going to be one of those things where it's going to turn up negative, but because there wasn't enough to figure out.
Then I feel like it would be inconclusive. I don't know what our options are on test results.
That's a good point.
But once you receive it, you literally go back online to the same site you ordered it from, and you register it using the 12-digit number that comes on the side of the test tube that you place your swab into. It's got some kind of a liquid in there. I don't know what that is. It's a mucus holder. It keeps your mucus steady while you ship it back.
That's the juice that they put like in bean cans and stuff, and like in
all that beautiful bean footage
in Spam and shit like that.
It's the filler
to preserve it.
The filler juice. Gross. But you just literally log in under your own account and log in with these numbers here on the vial. And so you open your kit, and you've got, again, your instructions on how to set up your pickup and drop-off instructions, or how to handle all that. Again, you've got your direct instructions for the kit, which we'll go over. Really pretty straightforward. It looks like a lot, but it's not. You've got your bag, your specimen bag that you place this test tube into when you are finished, a Ziploc bag. You then place that. You wrap it in this weird, like a gel, like I feel that, John. It's like a freezy gel.
This is so complicated.
It's just a few steps, and you literally fold that over. You wrap that inside of this gel pack, which keeps it stable and cool.
Oh, so you don't open up the gel pack?
Nope, you just literally fold it over. That's
my
it.
dumbass would have opened that up and tried to see
I read instructions. Then you put all that in this fancy bag.
Oh my gosh!
Right? and then that goes into this FedEx envelope, prepaid shipping, return shipping, FedEx envelope that says like biological substance category B, caution. Which is kind of weird, but that's why it's better to set it up for maybe home pickup or just drop it in a box. That's your options.
I do. I don't.
But I've got my steps, and John is very hesitant to do this, but it's going to be very simple. And I just wanted to show you guys how simple this is, and encourage everybody to go do this because.
But this isn't
at least
the one,
be knowledgeable as to if you're a carrier to this, whether you show symptoms or not.
This isn't the test that you took.
No. I took mine at like I said, at a doctor's office at an urgent care center. And they stuck the swab. It was longer than this. Don't open that yet because I don't want it to get contaminated.
Oh.
Yeah, everything's supposed to be clean. Absolutely.
Okay. Oh, yeah. You know the process better than I do.
And I washed my hands before we started, and I'm going to put these gloves on before I do it. But it's just regular. I'll give you one when I open them up so you can check it out. There's a handful in there. You just need the one. So I'm going to put these gloves on and you can check the swabs out, and I'm going to come around and rape John's nose hole.
Okay. Oh, God. I am not ready for this shit. No. You got to go a little faster than this. This shit scares the fuck out of me. I'm not.
All right, here we go. Here you go. You got me?
Yeah.
I'm going to open up our cotton swabs here. Here you go, John. You can play with that one. I won't use that one. You can contaminate it away.
Oh, so yeah, it is just a regular Q-tip.
Yeah, pretty much, right? Yeah. All right, so here's...
Did we lose some light?
Yeah, well, our ring light went out, but you can still see us really well. If Rocky was here, I'd have him get on it, but you can't always have your research help on hand. It's real life, son. All right,
so a regular...
So I'm going to go ahead, open up... Actually, you only use one, and I have to get into both nostrils. So step 2 is to open our swab or our vial. I'll do that after, but I'm going to put this, only has to go tip deep into John's nose. It doesn't have to go way the fuck up in there.
No, the first spot was deep.
Tip deep? That's not far away. You're not going to even feel that. John has a sensitive nose hole, apparently, ladies and gentlemen. All right, here we go. This is an untouched tip going in John's nose hole.
Oh, my God.
All right. It's got to go in both. So give me the other side first. Look that way.
Do I flare my nostrils?
You're fine. Just look towards the I-4 sign. There you go.
Towards that?
Yeah. Just
and
so
then
I can
switch
get
sides?
Yeah, just so I can get in from... There we go. See, it's not deep. I'm just getting some goo out of there.
I want to sneeze.
Okay, there's one side. Now, on the same tip side, I'm going in the other hole. You have to rate both sides.
I want to sneeze.
I'm trying not to like jam it up in there.
It feels a tickle.
Okay, I got a lot of sample. I'm going to open our vial. There's John's. Look, can you see the COVID on the camera, ladies and gentlemen? I know we lost some light, so that might not help, but... all right.
It started
How was that? How'd that feel for you, John?
It made my eyes tear up a little bit.
So you take the infected or affected side of the swab, put it side down into the liquid, the mucus holder. We're going to lid it back up.
Does it change colors or anything?
Yeah,
like
right.
that?
And you shake it around, and if it comes back blue, John did cocaine.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to jump back around to my side of the table.
Okay. Yeah, I am not...
Leela, you hate me. I made you move twice.
It didn't hurt, but it was uncomfortable.
Unpleasant. Just because you had my bad. Unpleasant, if anything, just because you had something in your nose.
Yeah, pretty much.
That you're not used to having in your nose.
It did not feel... my eyes were watering, but like not because of like immense pressure or anything. Because of like it was super ticklish.
Right. It was just a foreign object in your nose hole.
Yeah. I didn't know what to do with it. It was... I felt really, really... I wanted to sneeze right in your face.
Well, I'm glad you didn't. Thank you. I meant to. You know what? I failed in that I should have before I began.
Oh yeah, put your buff on.
Safely masked up with my funny to informing muff on, which you can hear over my mouth right now.
I can hear like the cotton, like you talking.
It was very muffled. Yeah.
You talking through fabric, like there's just like the distinct sound with that.
So all right, so we've got our sample. I've fully taken it, sealed the tube. We're going to put it in our specimen bag.
So it's got like the biohazard logo on it. Yep. Okay, so that's what we're going to ship off. But after we wrap it with that, we fold it in half with what? What do we fold it in half?
I'm sorry, sir. So we're going to place it in our biohazard bag. We're going to fold that in half. We're going to put that in between our gel pad, our gel pack, which is just kind of, it's almost like one of those freezer things you put in the freezer to freeze when you sprain your ankle, and you put it on your ankle to help your healing time go down. So we're going to take this, put it in this weird padded foil pouch.
I feel like this is the procedure when you break a finger, or no, not when you break one, when you lose one, or like a toe or something, and you have to put it in a bag, kind of wrap it, put it in another tinfoil sealed, secure thing, and then if you ship it off and get it to like before a half hour, then you can
put it in dry ice in a cooler. Put it on first class on a Delta flight with Turk and JD from Scrubs, and hope that your fingers reattach later.
That's the only way you can re-amputate it. So I feel like this is like a re-amputation procedure.
Reattachment?
Yeah. Reattachment, not re-amputation.
Right, it's kind of
that's when you get taken. You get your limb taken off twice. You don't want that. All right, so it's in the bag. That's cool.
Tight fit.
Very thick.
There you go.
I didn't think my nose juice was that thick.
A lot of nose goo in here, folks.
It opens up.
So at that point, our space pouch is sealed up and ready to go to the ISS.
It's going to go to NASA. That's going to be their suit.
One more step. Yeah. We put it in this giant. This is, could they make this pouch more bigger for this small package here, John?
It's literally, I didn't even give you a droplet. I feel like I gave you practically nothing. And the fact that it's going in all these wraps and then into this huge container.
Safety first, man. You can't have COVID just out there, man. You got to protect it. This is extra protection, I feel like is what that is.
No,
and it gets the sample there safely.
This looks like a school's worth of tests. And so I don't know how this is just for one person. And then I can only imagine at these shipping stores, UPS, FedEx, and whatever, that they have to deal with all of these little packages that are this big of a size over that small of a sample. And you're dealing with hundreds and thousands of them, maybe even millions, because everybody's getting tested now. And this seems like a pretty easy way, honestly. You do it for a week, you find out probably a week later, maybe 2 weeks later.
A couple of days.
And
it goes back, you ship it off today, they'll have it tomorrow, probably the following day you'll have your results latest.
And like
super quick. That's how the whole registration online works. You get your results online.
For an at-home test, that's worth it. I would do that,
For free?
And it didn't hurt.
Super simple.
Yeah, it didn't hurt.
Imagine if you do it to yourself, it's probably less weird. You can brace yourself for more things that you're doing to yourself. Am I right?
Yeah.
But I wanted to do it to John just to make him feel awkward.
The hype, the stuff like leading up to it scares the shit out of me. It wasn't really, I felt no pain. I just, like my nose still tickles. Like I feel like there's a tickle there that I can't scratch or that I can't get to.
But there's no pressure because it wasn't up in your sinus cavity.
No, I just want to rub my nose. Like I want to get rid of it, but I don't think it's going to go away for a little bit. And now everything in my nose is drying up.
Oh, that's weird.
Or it's like I thought my nose was dry. Now it's dry.
We should have did the COVID test before the cocaine.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
It's dry now.
Shitty. Well,
double dry.
Okay.
Yeah. So hopefully I come back negative.
I was going to say, unlike John's hopeful results, let's hope Orlando City has positive results tonight. Against Philadelphia Union. I wanted to just cram that in really quickly.
Yeah,
we're about to watch that.
We didn't mention that on the show because we didn't know we're recording this and they're playing right now, so we didn't want to say it without having a result. I guess.
But good luck to them against the shitty Philadelphia Union.
Not that shitty.
Who likes Philadelphia anyway?
Yeah, I think the Philadelphia Union have been better for Orlando City for a little while, and I think that they're still better than them, but it's kind of hard to tell, and you never know.
City's looking real positive right now, man. Fuck Miami, fuck Atlanta. Both of them have 0 points in their respective groups.
Yep, and you never know. And Orlando City has won their last 2 games, so they're looking real fucking good. Okay, so yeah, let's get out of here. We already did the sign off for the episode.
But if you want some PPE, what is it? Personal protection equipment.
Yep. PPE.
GeekOutJunkie.com.
Yeah. And
get that buff.
Yeah,
all up in your muff.
It can protect your phone, protects your mouth.
Your phone case, yeah.
Yeah, the phone case.
This doesn't protect your phone. It's really shitty protection. Do not wrap your phone in this and drop it. Right. We do not condone that.
Wrap a buff up around a phone and then just throw
it off a balcony.
They're like, no, it doesn't work. What the fuck?
But these phone cases give enough protection, and you look cool while doing it. So
yeah, really awesome shirts and a bunch of other stuff. So get on it. We have new magnets coming out with a new design completely.
One day, we haven't told anybody that at all.
No.
So only the people watching this video will know that.
No, so only if you're watching on the YouTube do you know that, because the podcast version of this ended a while ago.
Yep.
And the video
this
cut
is after
out.
hours.
Yeah, for some reason the video cut out. And
yeah, we apologize. Thank you for hanging through our technical difficulties until we got here.
I put a please stand by up and see if they sit around for 7 minutes or however long it was.
If you made it here, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so we will definitely see you guys next week. We hope you guys enjoyed episode 146 Funny to Informing. We'll be back for 147. I'm John. That's Chris Pizza Peisenberg Coleman. You don't have to tip anybody if you don't want to.
Test your COVID candidates.
Positive.
Negative.
Hopefully.